think he's a real outsider of this league, and like you were saying last week, Ethan, he's a real Verstappen of this league. He's willing to just go for it and just really not care almost about the outcome, about the sends that he does do then. So yeah, let's see if it's another great performance from the Red Bull driver here today. If he does get a podium here, I believe that will be his third podium consecutively then. So that'll be fantastic from the Hungarian then if he can do that. Yeah, last week he did come off second best, obviously finishing second there after his teammate Kraken ran into some issues then. And the previous race before that, around USA, he managed to win then. So let's see if he can repeat that feat here today, and if he can try and claim the win then. Currently looking quite good for him, as he does currently hold the fastest time, but few new faces going into this one as well. First major one is Volts then, currently sitting in 4th with a reserve drive for Mercedes then until next season. A VHP is here like he was last week, his debut then. Leclerc, new Charles Leclerc then, currently in 8th place in the Renault, also a reserve for tonight then. Fiery Hour returns after his debut win then, first ever race in GMRL last week, and he managed to win it as well. So can he do the same here today? If he can win 2 races in a row and make it 2 for 2 in his career, that would be absolutely incredible then. But yeah, apart from that, we have Cody then, who is currently sitting last of the timesheets, and we wait to see when he actually gets to post the valid lap time then.
Yeah, just on board now with Dan the Racer, looking very strong out there. Probably going to be someone to look out for this weekend. If he's looking strong in qualifying, God knows how strong he'll be in the race. So he's crossing the line now. How fast? Where does this put him? P5. So that's a great lap. That's been a great lap for Dan.
It is, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he would have probably tried to probably been closer in touch of Dino, as this is really, let's be honest, really his last chance then to try and hold on to this championship here. If he fails here today, then it is all over for him, and he walks away empty-handed at the end of this season. Obviously, you know, he gets bronze and whatnot, but, you know, he definitely prefer gold, that's for sure, but as all these drivers do. But here goes V Robbie, current pole sitter. Then he's going to set out on his second qualifying lap, and I'm noticing it only now. That was actually a super lap from the Red Bull driver then. That is actually super competitive and up there, so he could walk away with pole then. He's claimed pole in the past as well. I'm not too sure at which venues, but on debut he claimed pole in Austria. I know that. I'm not sure about Belgium. He may have claimed pole in Belgium as well, but yeah, not entirely sure then. But he is the Hungarian rocket then. Yeah, and definitely a force to be reckoned with, especially next season. I think he will definitely be a championship threat then. No doubt. I think he's in with a real good chance of that. But yeah, it's really impressive to see his current GMRL career unfolding, and hopefully a lot more seasons to come with this guy.
Yeah, looking at Kraken, he's had a super strong season, but right now he hasn't got a lap time in. With 7 minutes left, he would probably be starting to put his hopes up high and pushing the car pretty much to its last nut. So just depending on where he comes, this could be another front row lockout by Red Bull.
Indeed, and possibly also converted to a Red Bull 1-2. Obviously they claimed the first ever 1-2, and obviously therefore a record for the first ever Team 1-2 back in USA 2 rounds ago. with the Robbie leading home that charge. But here comes Kraken then going through the swooping left-hander. Will this be another almighty lap from Kraken here, as he's demonstrated all season? Will the pace be able to match his teammate on the top step? He crosses the line now, goes third fastest then.
That's a big upset.
Misses out by exactly 101 milliseconds then to second place, and 5/10 off his teammate V Robbie. There's still 6.5 minutes left in the session though, so he can get back to the pits. There's no drama with that, and we'll have a second shot at trying to claim pole here this afternoon. But yeah, still a pretty decent starting position nevertheless for him. Starting from third, currently a Red Bull 1-3. That is definitely not anything to be complaining about then.
Yeah, definitely not something to be complaining about. But this could really be some danger here for Dan. He's currently 7th. If he can't get out there and put in another mega lap to push him up the order a bit, get him that little bit closer to Dino, this could be the race from hell, I guess you could call it, for Dan. So he's already outlapped now. He's probably going to be pushing the car to the absolute limit. This is going to be one almighty race.
Most definitely, and we've seen drivers obviously in the past as well, cruelly, real life and league racing, cruelly snatched away from glory in the dying stages of their seasons, you know. But yeah, so hopefully this is not an example of that for Dan here today. But here's Jay Kelly then, currently swooping into the sweeping left-hander. Then will he be able to claim pole? Here he managed to win back in China for his first and last to date win then, currently sitting 8th. If he can outdo Dan just in front of him here, Dan will be in big trouble then, as Jay Kelly now comes up to the line in the Scarlet Red Ferrari. Is it good enough? He goes up to 7th, perfectly equaling out Dan then, and Dan is dropping down the order massively. He's currently on an outlap now, but yeah, definitely not running too well for him. Razor goes 2nd then.
Just as you said, that Razor goes 2nd fastest, so again the Honda power unit is showing it could be the superior power unit for this season.
Definitely, but it's really only come out of the blocks firing at these final stages, and that's really been the key success to Red Bull's dominance in the past few races. Dan is now sitting in 9th place then. The most unideal situation for the main championship challenger then to Dino here today, as he goes through the right-hander, approaching the end of his lap here. Now going riding up on that outside curb. This will most likely be his last lap of the session. Then there's only 3 minutes left here, so will it be able to deliver him a lap time good enough to reach those top spots here? We're about to find out as he runs up to the line now. DRS, ERS, everything goes 5th fastest then. Super lap from him, but he's gone into the McLaren then. Is that Dino?
No, it's not. No, it's not Dino's. So Dino's clear. So that was VHP, I'm guessing.
That is VHP in the McLaren. Is that a grid penalty then for Dan? We'll check the race director now, and I'll tell you what.
I'm pretty sure that might not be a...
No.
So...
Both of them have gotten away with it there. Big heavy contact, and both of them have escaped unscathed with 0 penalties then. However, Dan picking up some damage out of that. I'm not entirely sure about VHP there. He's got no damage then, so he's free to just go on his outlap now and go for that flyer then. But yeah, big drama there. I thought that was Dino then, and that would have been a huge moment. Talking about Dino and huge moments, this is him now on an invalidated lap here. So with 2.5 minutes left on the clock, I don't think he's actually going to be challenging for pole here, Ethan.
It doesn't seem like it, but knowing Dino, he could come firing out of the blocks and get really, really lucky at times as well. We've seen it happen once before, where the qualifying clock hit 0 and Dino was able to get away with it, but it's obvious he doesn't want to go on any further, or he just wants to get some fresh tyres on. He comes into the pits now.
Yeah, definitely. Now my question is, will Kraken try and set out for another lap? That was a good lap from him to qualify 4th there, but will he be trying to look for more than out of this session to try and either overturn his teammate here, or just simply get anywhere near the Hungarian, then possibly try and aim for the front row, go for another front row lockout for Red Bull here, as they are currently leading the Constructors' Championship?
Your answer to that question is yes, he's on his outlap right now.
Indeed he is, you are very correct there, and he pulls out of the way for both Red Bull styled cars there of the AlphaTauri and his teammate V Robbie then, so good respect from him there, as V Robbie is also now out on his outlap there. There are the two Red Bulls in formation then, both on outlaps here, and my question is, can V Robbie go faster? Can Kraken try and take the fight to V Robbie and try and challenge for pole here today? Will Dan here be able to try and challenge for pole or anything higher than 3rd, which Dino is currently sitting in? And yeah, those are about all my questions, which I'm sure in due time will be answered here. But here goes Cody. Currently hasn't had a valid lap all session here, so he'll be looking for one of them finally, eventually there. But yeah, here we go then. A few of the drivers should probably get a move on here. There's only 14 seconds left on the clock, but we have seen it in the past where drivers have gotten away with crossing the line with 0 seconds to go and have still got there. So let's see if it's the same story here today. Fiery Hour goes second fastest then. Spoils the Red Bull party here, and he is now the new guy on the block in the front row, knocking out the polystyrene board and almost knocking out that pole time set by V Robbie there. That was a super lap and only 3/10 down from V Robbie, but that's his qualifying session over, and you can see him swerving all over the track. He is clearly very happy with that one. Last week securing pole in his maiden Grand Prix. In his second Grand Prix, he's gotten second then. So very good job from here. Here goes V Robbie then, current pole sitter in this current qualifying session, going into the turn 3 there, into turn 4, now going into turn 5, rides over that curb nicely onto the outside curb, now digs half the car onto that inside curb. Dino's session is now over, so he will be getting no better than 4th by the end of this. Then Dan the Racer also currently out on a flying lap then, so will he be able to try and get 4th or better here to overturn his championship rival here, Dino, and try and hold currently the qualifying advantage going into this race then. Here comes V Robbie through the sweeping right-hander. His teammate Kraken also approaching the end of his lap then, as he rides up on the curb. Been quite a good session from Kraken here, but he may be looking for more and possibly a bit too much then, as he goes spinning. Does well to avoid the barrier there, but he would not be challenging for pole. The Robbie won't be setting any better time then, as he's invalidated, and now it's all up to Dan here. He's really the last driver to see if he will, the last threat then to see if he'll move up in positions. Then it all comes down to this. Runs out very wide, gets away with no invalidation then. Now going into the penultimate swooping corner, but he's pulled it into the pits then. Will abandon that lap, and Dan will start from 6th. He does have the starting, track position disadvantage then going into this race here. Dino, his main championship rival, will be starting 2 positions ahead of him in P4, and yeah, Fiery Hour then demonstrates once more that he deserves to be on this grid, and a fantastic drive in his second race, and his second race as a reserve driver then, so really well done to him then. V Robbie topping the timesheets there by a whopping 3/10 and takes another pole this season. Ethan, he only needed that one lap at the start, didn't he? And then he's taken it then for this weekend.
Yeah, that's all he needed, the one lap. And honestly, if there's more of that this weekend, there's got to be a lot more closer action um, to come as well with the race. This could all be done and dusted within the first lap. We could have a fight for the lead. We could have a championship battle. We could have a lap one safety car. It all comes down to the driver's decisions at the start.
Indeed it does then, and yeah, the closing moments then dawn on this excellent, amazing championship battle, and
And
it
it's
is
gonna be
raining,
wet.
and it is raining hard. Jeepers. This throws a new factor into the equation most definitely here. So there may not be entirely smooth sailing for this championship possible victory then today for Dino, and may have to contest with just a little bit of weather, just a bit of rain, as it almost looks like the pit lane is about to flood, but you know, just a bit of rain. And yeah, this could really spice things up. Then we've also seen in the past V Robbie putting in good performances in the rain, so possibly another one of those here today. We can't wait to see what happens then, but let's get this formation lap underway then. But yeah, it's going to be quite difficult then for our drivers to really get these tyres up to temperature, I imagine. Then with the obvious rain, yeah, the obvious rain, yeah, it is quite obvious there. But no, this should be an interesting one. Like we were saying earlier, obviously Dan only needs to outscore, Dino only needs to outscore Dan, who's now been disqualified from the session by 1 point, one singular point going into this race. If he just finishes ahead of him on track in the points, then he wins this championship. It's all his. But if he fails to do that, then this title battle goes to next week then. Let's do a grid rundown then. V Robbie with that excellent lap, claimed pole by 3/10 in Saturday's qualifying session, their fiery hour in his second race, currently reserved for Mercedes this weekend. Won last week on debut. Can he try and do 2 for 2 here? Razor starts from third, completing the top 3. Fourth is Dino then. Fifth is Kraken, rounding out the top 5, and I'll let you do the rest of the grid order then, Ethan.
So in P6 should have been the now disqualified Dan the Racer. P7 is the Mercedes of Volts. Jay Kelly lines up in P8 in the Scuderia, followed by Avalanche, Cody, Leclerc in the Renault. In P11, in P12 we got VHP, GJRB, both are, cannot talk today. In 13th, DJ Death in the Alfa Romeo, and then I am Josh. Rounding out your grid for round 12 here in a very, very wet France.
Thank you very much for that, Ethan then, but yeah, it's I'm already I'm smiling ear to ear. It is race time. What's not to love? We are getting this race underway, and we are getting it started. There is a predicted stop strategy powered by AWS graphics. Then lap 13, we should see drivers coming in for a second set of wets or inters, depending on how these conditions transition. Then, but we now have our last drivers lining up on the grid then for the race that could decide the championship. Then will Dino take this title right here, right now? We're about to find out. We now go to 5 red lights. Not lights out and away we go just yet. We have to wait for the delay. Lights out and away we go for the race that could decide the championship. V-Robbie gets off to a great start, then won't be challenged into turn 1 as it seems. Dino's jumped up to third already. Kraken is off to a very, very poor start then. They've all seemed to keep it quite clean through turn 1 then. The AlphaTauri though spinning, manages to keep it out of the wall. Then that is Razor there, dropping from P3 to now P15 then. Volt is up into third, from 7th to 3rd in the opening corners. That is fantastic work from him. Dino is dropping back a few places now. He drops back to 4th here, and Fiery is right on the gearbox of V-Robbie. Then V-Robbie got off to a great start to defend into turn 1, but yeah, Fiery may be able to try and challenge him as we go down this straight here. No, won't be able to try and look for a move going into the chicane. Then Dan the Racer, however, dropping back massively. He is in now 9th place as he gets up round the outside of Cody. Then he's currently sitting with 2 points to his name, and at this current rate will be losing the championship. Then yeah, Fiery Owl once again right up behind the Red Bull of V-Robbie, but they've all done quite a nice job of keeping it relatively clean off this opening lap here in Paul Ricard. Then VHP looking a bit slow here and a bit slippery as both of them run out very wide, both Dan and VHP, as I believe that is Cody who's no, he's not disconnected, just a bit of lag coming into play then. But
now
Volt,
just
sorry,
interrupting you, the two Mercedes had to go at each other into the final turn. It's actually quite surprising that we see the two Mercedes up on the podium this late in the season. Let's hope both of them can fight for a good points finish.
Yeah, definitely, as they're both reserve drivers. Fiery in his second reserve race here definitely deserves a full-time seat, and hopefully will get one hopefully for the last round or something. But he does go very wide, then got a little bit of a tap from his reserve teammate then, Volt, and has now dropped down to 4th place, possibly even 5th. Yes, it is, as Kraken goes round the outside of him there. A bit more contact made between the two drivers there, as Kraken now moves his way up into 4th place then. So absolutely crazy stuff there. Bit of contact made and drama has occurred then between the two Mercedes. I don't imagine a report will be needed to be made for that. That was just a slight touch, but yeah, Fiery definitely won't be too happy with that. Was challenging V-Robbie. Then Kraken's gone sliding through the right-hander here, and that may give Fiery a chance to try and go round the outside. Gets all over the wet side of the track, getting all off the dry line then. In fact, both of them there did. But yeah, Kraken does stay ahead in that Red Bull, but Fiery once again closing up massively. Jay Kelly is also getting invited into this little scrap a bit here, and maybe able to try and challenge Fiery, as Fiery is quite sluggish, it seems, off the start here. Just after getting touched by his teammate, he's really been struggling then. But we now go on to lap 3. Obviously no DRS for our drivers here because of the terrible rainy conditions here. But Dan the Racer is still struggling back in 9th place then. And yeah, at the moment is losing this championship here. So Dino is up in a great position to try and take this title today, but there's still a long way left in this race. 24 laps still to go, so anything can happen there. Both these drivers, Bolt and V-Robbie, both sliding a little bit there, but I think V-Robbie will be able to just have that extra margin over Bolts as we go down this straight then.
Just before, as they were coming onto the straight, Dino was looking a little bit slow, allowing both Kraken and Fiery Hour to catch up. Riding on board, Kraken was pretty much right up Dino's gearbox, so this could be the fight that everyone needs. As he's cut Dino's gone it! He's lost it!
He's into the wall, he's lost his front wing, and that is a huge implication on the championship then. So Dan the Racer now moves ahead of him, and I'm really sorry for interrupting you there, Ethan, but that is huge then in terms of this championship, and Dino will most likely have to come in. Yeah, he definitely does. Look how... That's a safety car then, so that would definitely help out Dino a lot then. Safety car of the gods here, as Dino is going to just claw his way back to the pits, get this front wing change. Then as you can see the understeer there just entering the pits alone, he just went flying out wide then, and yeah, I think Dan probably was probably quite happy I imagine when he saw Dino buried in that metal wall then, because that will definitely help him in this championship fight then, and however this safety car, that's going to help Dino now essentially catch back up onto the pack, and we may actually see a battle between the two championship rivals here. On track battle, haven't seen them too much duel it out, but I think this one is going to be a lot more fierce today than Ethan, which I'm sure you can imagine why as well, and also the viewers as well, why you can imagine that would be. But if you don't, if you're unaware, these two are fighting for a...
I'm pretty sure the last time we seen Dino and Dan really duke it out was Hungary, a couple rounds ago. So it's definitely been a little overdue for a battle between the two greats right now.
Most definitely, but yeah, a few drivers just already on the queue of this safety car. Then V Robbie still leading then, so the Hungarian holding out a very good lead. He's led from start to now lap 4 here under safety car, so he's done a very good job then. But my question is, we always see people pitting in dry conditions for new tyres and stuff under a safety car. Will we see that happen in very, very poor rain conditions? We're about to find out here. Will the race leader come in then? No, he's staying out. Nobody seems to want to go in then. Jay Kelly seemed to think about it for a second there, but changed his mind then. Lots of drivers queuing up, and that's caused carnage then back in the field. Penalties all through the field then, and specifically for Dan the Racer there, he's picked up a 5-second penalty then for the completely broken safety car system on this game here. So yeah, that is huge then for the championship challenger. Obviously that won't have to be applied at the end of the race. He could just serve it through the penalty, so that will thankfully remove it then. But yeah, still going to be losing some time nevertheless here, and I think probably Dino losing that wing is I might sound a bit weird to say it, but I think it's almost helped him in a way, because it means now he's on the freshest set of tyres on the entire grid here. However, nobody else is pitted, so once they all pit, yeah, Dino will just get munched up by them, I imagine, and we'll probably have to come in for another stop possibly. However, it's a lot easier to take these tyres through a Grand Prix if it stays like the conditions that it is. And now DJ Death goes spinning then, trying to get heat into the tyres, and he's gone spinning off into the blue and black runoff there, so his race goes from bad to worse. A lot of drivers finding it very tricky in these incredibly tricky conditions, but some drivers really withstanding the pressure of having to try and perform at a difficult venue with such difficult conditions to face them here, such as, you know, V Robbie and all those guys then, who are doing a very good job at the moment, so kudos to them. Den the Racer and VHP having a bit of a
safety cars in this lap.
On the safety car.
Safety cars coming
yes,
in this lap. So this,
yeah,
it's all going to come down to what V Robbie does off this restart, and how early or late he decides to go. It's all down to this. This could possibly be the restart that decides the championship.
Indeed it could be, and yeah, let's just see what happens then. If Dan can get off to a really good restart here, he could try and challenge for 6th, but who knows, and Dino just has to make up as many positions as possible. But V-Robbie now goes. He seems to have caught out Bolts massively then. Will lead them by like 2 seconds going into turn 1. Sorry, no, 6/10 there. Yeah, heaps of action happening back in the field. Then Dino's up into 12th. VHP gets it done up the inside, runs off the track there while trying to make a move on GJ Botha, then actually stays ahead of the Haas driver here. Dino is clawing his way through the field now, as well as he's now up into 11th and staring down the barrel of points up against I Am Josh F1 here as he closes up now through the long what usually would be flat right-hander, but today the drivers are having to show that much more caution through here. Dino will pull out to the left-hand side now on Josh here. Will this be the move for 10th place? Yes, it is.
V-Robbie has
moves into the points.
I think there is now a battle up for first, and I'm pretty sure I just seen V-Robbie get overtaken on the leaderboard by Volts. So something is definitely happening up the front of the field. And whatever is happening, it's getting close.
Yeah, I think you're right there, and I think maybe Bolts had to try and take to an escape road or something like that, because I saw that he got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting then, so we'll wait and see what that's all about. But Leclerc goes spinning then into the escape road there. What am I saying? Everything at this track is an escape road, essentially. It's quite hard to end up in the barrier, however, as Dino demonstrated 3 laps ago, it is possible then, especially in these conditions here. But here comes Kraken then. This looks to be a move for 2nd place. Pulls out to the inside then and makes his way down the inside. Bolts doesn't make it too hard for him there. And now Fiery also challenging Volts then as well. I think a bit of lag. Volts has now left the session there, so internet troubles striking once more here, as it did for a few of our drivers last week then. And yeah, that's really unfortunate for him then, because I don't actually have him friended there, so I can't actually get him back into the race here, unfortunately. But hopefully he does find a way to do so then, as Jay Kelly now under attack from Avalanche. Avalanche pulls out to the inside then and is going to
Dan the Racer now moving up to 6th, and Kraken now in the fastest lap. So the Rebel superior dominance definitely showing what it can do with the power unit, but flying hour closing up rapidly on the back of Kraken. Jay Kelly about 4 seconds behind, under pressure from Avalanche in the AlphaTauri. So this is really starting to really heat up towards, as we get closer and closer to the middle of the field. There's a 3-way fight, and now Dino is overtaken by GJ Botha.
Yeah, I think GJ Botha just went for a big old dive bomb then, and it has worked out from there. He's up into now 8th place. Dino will try and get that from him as soon as possible here, as Dan is currently running 6th, Dino 9th then. So at the moment Dino won't walk away with he now picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. That's a very good save from Jake. In that disconnected car is dropping back massively here, and it looks set to be set to continue then as Fiery and the Robbie now, yeah, indeed he is. The Robbie and Fiery now come into the pit lane, then both of them fitting on the intermediate compounded tyre then, so their teams have decided that the conditions are now suitable to fit on that next
yeah. And as you say that, the Scuderia does the same thing. Whether that's reacting or not, we'll have to find out.
Dino's coming in, and he's actually double stacking with VHP then. This is going to cost Dino massively then. It's going to cost him a lot of time as he's possibly going to drop back to last. No, still a few drivers to come into the pit lane then. But Dino is way out of position then. But this could still work out for him as Dan is going to lose heaps of time on this in-lap. He's still on the wets there, and he has been stranded out on the track then. Dino now just has to put in a really good outlap, and he will most likely pass Dan once he does come in then. Volts, however, getting in the way a bit of Dino here, but Dino does manage to get round him as Volts does now reconnect, I believe. No, but yeah, Kraken now leads from Avalanche to Dan. All these guys are still on wet tyres, so they all still need to make stops then, unless they want to really try and risk it and take these tyres a bit longer here. But V Robbie now moves up into 6th place, moves past Leclerc then. So he's currently sitting in a really good position there. And yeah, Leclerc just being courteous and letting everybody who is on that quicker compounder tyre go through here. Good sportsmanship from them then. But Jay Kelly now closing up to DJ Death here. Might try and get round the fellow Italian team driver.
He's sorry for cutting off there, but Dan doesn't come into the pits this lap. He's going to continue on these wets.
Indeed he is, and that is going to cost him dividends then. It's going to cost him huge time, and Dino may well actually overtake him on track. Possibly, I hate to say it, but it may result in that then. Razor now battling with the Robbie then for the provisional lead. Razor, however, is actually on still old wet compound tyres here. Fiery also getting past Razor then, and he now moves into a provisional 2nd place as Dan the Racer currently leading still needs to make his pit stop then. And yeah, we've seen this in the past with Dan as well. He is willing to take those tyres just that extra step further than he does need to, as I'm just going to get the gap to the leader here. The gap for Dino is currently 28.5 to Dan then, so he does have quite a big gap, but that is quite a slow pit lane here at France, so I don't think that will be enough then for Dino to actually take the lead, say, or sorry, Dan to come in and re-emerge still in the lead then, and you can see how much time it is costing him here. V Robbie is catching him by quite a lot of tenths per corner here. It's about 3 tenths per corner then, as yeah, you wouldn't be expecting him to exactly take these risks in such a close championship fight then, but he does now come in. But at the same time, you sort of need to take those risks to try and put in performances. Now this is going to be interesting to see if Renault can try and put in a really good pit stop performance. Then Dan could try and re-emerge back near Dino, who is currently getting held up a bit by
he's serving the penalty, so this could be all Dan. Dino has to just keep pushing that car as hard as he can right now in order to really catch. And I can see the McLaren coming flying down the straight now, and yeah, there we go.
And he does get Dan.
So Dan really needs to push as of now to really um, get the points he needs to keep his championship hopes alive. So he has a lot of work ahead of him, but I feel he can actually do it.
Yeah, definitely, and definitely with this Volts then holding up Dino quite a fair bit here, who is lagging quite a bit as well, Volts. So yeah, Dino may fall into the clutches of Dan here, who is most likely going to be pushing it and does actually have a big ERS advantage over Dino currently. Then about 20% more battery power in that car then, but Fiery also closing up to V Robbie now. He's caught about 4/10 through those two corners or something. Very well done from him as they now go into the last corner here to move ourselves onto lap number 12. This will be then. Dan, however, ever stronger here as he catches begins to catch Dino here. Currently 1.6 seconds is the gap to Dino, but Dan is seems to be struggling quite a lot in these conditions. We'll get back to that battle a bit later on, but you can see now Fiery catching up massively to V Robbie then going through this first sector here. Will he be able to try and possibly try and get into a good slipstream and make a move? V Robbie currently has about 20% more ERS in that Red Bull compared to Mercedes, but it doesn't seem that he's using it because Fiery has caught up a substantial amount down that straight then, as now going into the fast left-right chicane here, closing up once more to V Robbie. Only 4/10 is separating them, literally nothing between the two of them, as Kraken as well begins to close in on this little battle as well then. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that. Still just trying to catch up is Fiery here, as they're all taking like the exact same line, so very precise through that section of the track here. And yeah, Fiery has caught a massive amount on V Robbie then going into the long left-hander here. V Robbie seems to be sliding and struggling just a bit here, as yeah, they now go into the straight. Obviously still no DRS for the Mercedes driver, and oh how much he would love to have it right now, I'm sure. But yeah, now going into the first corner, V Robbie still leading then and holding onto this lead very, very well by 7/10 there. Dino as well holding on to this P9, as that's a bit of catastrophe there for a few drivers. I believe that was Bolts who went spinning out of the last corner. Then I'm not too sure what was going on there, but Dan hasn't managed to get in front, and Dino now has a car between himself and his main championship rival Dan, and is now closing up to GJ Botha. This is absolutely huge then. Razor has also now left the session. Then I'm not sure what's happening or what's happened there, but we'll invite him back as soon as possible here. There he is. So yeah, we'll try and get him back into the lobby here, as Dino now gets in front of GJ Botha, and oh, I thought that was Dan going spinning, and thankfully for himself that is not Dan going spinning, because that'd be really, really unfortunate if it was. Then Razor now rejoins here in P13, and now under attack from DJ Death, who is essentially pushing him with that broken front wing. Then Bolts once again leaves the session. He's struggling a lot with internet issues in this one then. But yeah, Dino has now moved himself up into P7, still has a car between himself and Dan, as Dan is currently running back in P9, so not too great for the Renault at the moment. DJ Death now moves ahead of Razor then down that straight, and it's about a three-way or so competition now beginning to brew for this race win, and Red Bull could take their second 1-2 of the season here.
Yeah, definitely. This is all gonna come down to you know, what happens within next few laps. Red Bull could get the 1-2. And someone's been, I think that was Leclerc that's just gone spinning. Yes, he has. Leclerc off track in sector 3.
Some drivers' races going from bad to worse here, and Leclerc is definitely one of them in his first Grand Prix, not going all too well for him then. Volts now comes in for a pit stop, his disconnected car now coming in then. Yeah, Red Bull could actually, I believe, come away with the title after this one, unless McLaren have 2 drivers show up next week. Then I think Red Bull could try and take the title this weekend. If they get a 1-2, then they can mathematically take it here. And I think also if they get a 1-3, so as they stand, they will take the title then. So yeah, let's see if that does come to fruition for these 2 outstanding talents within GMRL here. Fiery Hour also now catching up onto V Robbie. He's a lot closer on this occasion, but every occasion he's not being close enough here. Just cannot close that gap enough. Really try and go for a lunge. Thought about it, tried to put V Robbie under a bit of pressure, but has now just lost out a bit himself then. As Kraken is now gaining massively on the pair of them here. Kraken only 6/10 to Fiery, and about 9 or so tenths to V Robbie then. So he is absolutely flying then, doing a very, very good job is Kraken then, and could try and take his second win of the season here. Now my question is, will V Robbie finally break the curse? Currently about 3 or so drivers hold 2 wins to their names. However, none of them hold more than that. Renault's gone spinning. That's not Dan, thankfully, but Dan has picked up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits there. Yeah, so there's about there's about 2 or 3 drivers all sitting on 2 wins then. So if V Robbie can win this one, then he will finally break that curse and win the third race. You might want to come back to the battle for the lead. It's getting really heated up for the battle of the lead. Mario almost had the move on V Robbie, and I reckon the more unnecessary risks Fire Arrow makes us. Now Leclerc has retired from the session, but yeah, as I was saying, the more unnecessary risks Fire Hour makes, the more time he will lose, as he's he had a look. There is very desperate.
Yeah, don't see why you would have to do that, and the more he does unnecessary risks like that, the more time he's going to lose to the Red Bull behind a Kraken. So he really needs to start thinking smart about the way he's positioning the car and where he's going to go for the move, because the more times he keeps going for it, the more time he's losing. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. He's in a good slipstream at the moment, but V Robbie is holding on to this very, very well at the moment then, and this does look to be progressing to a 3-way fight for the win, which we always love to see, of course. Yeah, this could be it though. The champion, both championships then could be decided today. DRS is now being enabled. So could everyone now possibly come in and go for the dries? Is the track dry enough to go onto the slick tires?
There still seems to be a bit of spray coming off a few cars here, but it does seem that the track definitely is progressing to obviously a drier surface then. So
Volts is in, so Volts is the first person in. Could he be going to a dry set of tires right now?
We'll wait and see.
Yes,
and
he's going on to the softs. He's going on to the softs.
Oh, yes, so we now have V Robbie. All the leaders that coming in, top 3 have now come in, and I think that is a signal now for everybody to come in. This race has just been flipped on its head completely.
Softs.
We are going
I'm seeing softs. I'm seeing softs right around.
All down through the order. This is absolute madness.
V Robbie is probably the only one that's gone onto the mediums, unless Kraken's also onto the soft tires. So the
Okay,
DRS could have been the trigger.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of drivers reacted once they saw that DRS enabled. Avalanche also in for mediums. Another driver then responding with the medium tyres. And we do actually have a few here doing that. Then Dino as well coming in.
They're double stacking. McLaren's going to double stack.
Multiple teams double stacking here. This is absolute pandemonium here down in the pit lane. We've gone through literally every single possible weather condition you can face. Dan the race has lost out.
I was just going to say, GJ Bertha has jumped Dan the racer in the pit lane. So
indeed he has, and yeah, V Robbie though built out a bigger lead than when he actually entered that pit lane. Then now 1.7 seconds separating himself and Fiery. However, in these first couple of laps on this new stint, you'd imagine that Kraken and Fiery will definitely have the advantage, pace advantage wise, over V Robbie. But as this race progresses, V Robbie is going to settle in nicely then, and at the moment he is absolutely flying out in front.
You say that, but looking at the onboard view from Kraken's car now, you can't see V Robbie or Flying Hour in front of him. What the gap is, I'm not too sure. It will definitely be way over 5 seconds, I'd imagine. So yeah, they just come out round in the final corner now. V Robbie now around in the final corner. So this is all going to come down to how smart these drivers use their tyres and how quickly they wear on this track.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you then, but yeah, the gap now closing here as you were saying before, Fiery keeps going for these unnecessary risks and keeps losing himself more time to V Robbie, but I think this time round he is just going to land the knockout blow. V Robbie has led every single lap here at Paul Ricard here today, but Fiery is now in the slipstream. It's going to be a side-by-side affair as we go into the chicane here. Who will break the latest? It's Fiery round the outside with a super move. They make a bit of contact then, but it is all clean, and Fiery does take that then. Fiery now leads the French Grand Prix of Season 1, Round 12 here in GMRL. It's been a great scrap all race, and Fiery finally landed that knockout blow that he needed against V Robbie and says, thank you very much, I will take the lead then. And for the second time, or for his second race in GMRL, and the second time in GMRL, he now leads a Grand Prix then in GMRL. So can he do what he did last week in his first ever Grand Prix and try and convert this to another win? That would be absolutely extraordinary if this rookie can perform in only his second ever Grand Prix, get 2 for 2 wins. He is currently the fastest man on circuit, and that's just gone to prove it then with the new fastest lap of this Grand Prix.
I'm lost for words for what I just witnessed. Just wow. V Robbie led every lap so far and then gets hit with this. Definitely going to be a big punch in the gut, but knowing V Robbie, and as you said earlier on in the stream, he is the Max Verstappen of this league. He will do anything and everything possible to close the gap and move the car where it should be, and that's in the race lead.
Most definitely, but Fiery is already building out that gap massively here, and I think that is the first signs of these softs obviously performing just overall stronger compared to the medium compounded tyre, but I'll be interested to see what happens in around the next 5 or so laps. If it is enough time for V Robbie's mediums to settle in and try and close what will most likely be quite a big gap by the time that they do begin to set in, and if V Robbie will have enough time then with those much better performing mediums against the soft runners, if he'll be able to then have enough time to try and close that gap and possibly win this race as well. But Fiery now setting consecutive fastest laps. He's absolutely flying around this circuit, and we completely forgot to talk about this, but currently the championship battle, still Dino with the car ahead of himself and Dan then of GJ Botha, as it was before they came into the pits, and Dan is also now closing up to his reserve teammate then, VHP here, so currently the championship is looking very good, and that's another sign of it. Dan now picks up another 3-second time penalty, trying to push so hard to try and catch up to GJ Botha, and it's not resulting in really anything for him here. He's just really stuck in this P9 as he has been for the last couple of laps, and 7 laps to go now, and it could be the last 7 laps in this championship battle. We're about to find out then. It all comes down to this here, but Fiery now leading by 2.1 seconds. This kid is on to performing something absolutely amazing, and something that nobody has ever done if he can try and secure this here today. 2 wins in a row and making it 2 for 2. Having 2 races in GMRL and winning both of them. That is, that is easily never been done before by anybody. He's just gone ahead and he's set another fastest lap then. However, I am interested to see the penalties, which he does currently have 3 seconds worth of penalties, so it could come down to the interval at the end here. V-Robbie has kept it very clean all race and has managed to get away with 0 penalties then to his name, and as things stand as well, I believe Red Bull will then take the Constructors' Championship here today, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, it's now Red Bull 2-3.
There was yellow flags in Sector 2. Who was for? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it would have been, and I'm hoping it wasn't, one of the rookies, because most of the rookies we've had all season have performed extraordinary races. Some even move into other teams, as now with the most recent rookie, Fire, probably the best example, started last week and probably one of the second hardest tracks to be made in Formula 1 and winning it. So this is just a race I could say I'm lost for words for.
Yeah, me too. I cannot believe that somebody is performing and succeeding this much success in such little experience and time that they have had racing against these drivers on this calendar and all of it, and yet they've coped with that pressure so very well, as Fiery has done then. But yeah, definitely looking forward to what the future holds for him then, as talking about that, Dino moved past his teammate VHP then as well, up into 6th place, and Dan moved past GJ Botha finally up into 8th place then. So yeah, again another car put between the two of them there, and it almost seems like Dan is taking one step forward, and then when he does finally get that step forward, then Dino just simply takes, or has already taken that step to put those critical cars between himself and Dan, and yeah, this championship may be over within the next 5 laps here. We'll have to wait and see. But that is a slip. Oh, that's Fiery then. He's gone spinning then from the race lead. It looks so good for him to take his 2nd win, and it is, in a matter of laps, has all gone terribly, terribly wrong for the Mercedes driver. Absolute heartbreak here, as V-Robbie will once again inherit the lead then, and now leads by 7.7 seconds with 4 laps to go to his teammate Kraken. Then that is absolutely tragic for Fiery. He looks so good, and now he's had to come in for a stop as well. He's pitted onto another set of softs. He didn't pick up any damage, but possibly just the wear and the temperature of the tyres. He felt he could close up that gap to both now Jay Kelly and Avalanche, and now this will be Dino as well, who moves ahead of him. Actually, it's going to be quite close, but no, he does get him by a very long way then. Will Dan get him as well? No, he does not. That huge there. 2 cars now between Dan the Racer and his championship rival Dino, who now sits in 5th place then. But yeah, heartbreak for Fiery.
Honestly, I'm getting George Russell vibes after that on Mercedes debut for the kid, and whatever happened, I'm not sure, but from what I'm hearing, he must have just dropped it, and yeah, it's now cost him a fair few positions, now down in P7, so I really do feel for the kid.
So unfortunate. Looks so good for his second win, but I'm sure that second win will eventually come, whether it's next week or season 2. We do hope that he does stay racing in the league, because he is a huge talent, and yeah, if he's watching this back now, we definitely do feel for you, mate, and yeah, we hope for all the best in the future then. But yeah, I definitely do agree with you. Big George Russell Bahrain 2020 vibes. They're just losing everything after you've performed so well, and that was an extraordinary battle that he did have with V Robbie. Obviously, it's not all over. He can try and come away with the podium here, but he's not going to be challenging the likes of V Robbie and Kraken here, who are currently on course to set the track alight and take another 1-2 this season. We were so shocked and amazed by the first ever 1-2 of GMRL back in USA, and I personally didn't think there was a huge chance of it happening again. And with 3 laps to go, we're staring down the barrel of the exact same driver lineup, only 2 rounds later, taking another 1-2. So yeah, let's see if that does come to fruition here, and that would be amazing if it did. Jay Kelly as well, currently running podium in quite a while, and was running a pretty good position last race until his tyre actually gave way on the last corner actually there. Yeah, last time he got a podium was back in China when he actually won there. So yeah, so let's see if he can try and finally get another podium here today. Every time we've said that, he has yeah, lost out, but let's see if it finally happens today. V Robbie though now leads this race by 10.8 10.9 11 seconds, and I think these mediums are really coming alive here in these last 2 laps. And what a shame it was that Fiery did spin then, because I think we would have seen a real good battle for the lead then. But talking about battles involved with Fiery, here comes Fiery now closing up the gap massively to Dino. He obviously has a huge advantage over literally everybody in the field currently with those fresh softs, and I doubt Dino will make life too hard for the rookie here, as yeah, going down the straight here, Dino will just move out to the middle of the track, and yeah, Fiery is free to really decide on which way he wants to go. Then Dino isn't going to challenge that. He knows his fights and when to fight them, and isn't going to be taking any risks when he is sitting in the championship winning position with only 2 laps to go. It would be silly if he was to try and just send a dive bomb on somebody with clearly fresher tyres than him. Yeah, but here goes V Robbie to start now the penultimate lap of this race then. 12 seconds is currently the gap to his teammate Kraken in second here, and Avalanche as well closing up massively to Jay Kelly here. And will V Robbie, sorry, not V Robbie, Fiery be able to try and catch them in these next 2 or so laps, and try and take another podium then in his second of his career there. Avalanche with 0 podiums, would definitely like to have one before the big season break then between season 1 and 2, as many of these drivers would like to have, but I think a lot of them will miss out in this first season, as we do have some people in the chat of Danielo supporting V Robbie then, and yeah, I personally think it's been a great drive from him here today. I do think Fiery probably, I think it would have been close. I don't know who to call who it would have been for the win had Fiery not spun. You never know what, like, you know, the what ifs and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, it definitely would have been a good battle, and unfortunately we missed out on that then. But yeah, yes, it was an amazing drive, Danielo. You'll be happy to know it wasn't gifted. It at some points was gifted to V Robbie, but no, he's led and driven a fantastic race, and now takes us on to the final lap of this Grand Prix. Then now just has to negotiate the lap car of Razor here, which I'm sure won't make life too difficult for the Hungarian. Obviously repping that Hungarian flagged helmet all the way. Then Avalanche is now catching up to Jay Kelly, and also Fiery Hour also catching up a bit as he now starts his final lap as well. Now V Robbie just going through the chicane then on this final lap, on his way to becoming the first driver in GMRL to have 3 wins to their name. And I know it's not a huge feat, but since we've had such a competitive season from round 1 to now round 12, it is a big feat to secure this amount of wins, and he will become therefore the most winning driver in GMRL history then to date. Avalanche 1.4 to Jay Kelly. It will be close, but I don't think he will get it then. But here comes V Robbie through the sweeping left-hander. The brake discs are alight, and you can now set the fireworks alight, because V Robbie is going to come home for his 3rd win of the season, then crosses the line and claims the victory. There, Kraken as well will come home to take Red Bull's 2nd 1-2 of the season and secures them the Constructors World Championship. Then they are Season 1 champions. Dino as well, he has been the force, he has been formidable ever since that season break, ever since Hungary, and he now rounds the final corner to win or come up to the line. He has been absolutely incredible, and he crosses the line now to become the Season 1 World Drivers Champion. Then Dino does it. They're here in Season 1, Round 12 at France. He is your champion, no questions about it. Dan comes home for 7th. It was a great challenge from him all season, but nothing could overturn Dino, who just managed to keep his cool all the way from that into round 2 in Austria, where he claimed that amazing first win. Not exactly how he would have wanted it to end, or claim the title with 6th place and front wing damage at the end, but I think he still will be quite happy with that. Who cares? He is the champion, then there's no catching him, and yeah, take a bow, Dino. That is absolutely incredible work. Then my question is, I don't think V Robbie will be able to now mathematically challenge for the title. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I think he is mathematically out of it as well here. Yes, he is, but yeah, another Red Bull 1-2. They take the Constructors. It is lots of champagne to go around here tonight, and yeah, wow. I cannot believe it. Dino is Season 1 World Champion. Red Bull are Season 1 World Champions. Here, Red Bull with that formidable driver lineup, especially come the end of the season there with V Robbie and Kraken putting on a real classy show then for us to watch. It has been an absolute pleasure to watch them, and we now we go into the last race, and all the drivers can just